Golden Soldier spam is notorious for soloing many game modes, cheesing them easily. And in this video, I wanted to test how far Golden Soldier can actually go in every game mode, not including weekly challenges and PvP. But before we start, I want to lay down some ground rules. 1. We will use the map U-turn for every map unless it's not doable on that map. Also, of course, we're not going to use that map on hardcore or challenge maps. 2. I can retry the maps as many times as I want. And 3. I'm not the best player, so I will be having some skill issues from time to time. Let's start with the easiest of the bunch, literally easy mode. Also, I was on mobile doing this, so shut up. Anyways, yeah, you don't really need to say the gameplay. I just had time scale on and Soldier was doing his thing, cooking, per usual. The Brute came out and, 17 Golden Soldiers level 3. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Now we're gonna move on to casual mode. Now, casual mode is where the Gravedigger resides in, so, it's a bit more of a challenge, and I'm gonna go ahead and use some timescale tickets. But take a look at the sheer Bunslandia displayed here. I mean, sure, they have more health than the previous game mode, but just look at it. Look, they're getting cooked by one level 1 soldier. I mean, the only thing that got mildly far was on Wave 26 when these guys came out, and we handled them easily. Finally, Gravedigger, my beloved, came out of the cave, and we just sprayed him. Like, just look at his health melting. I mean, sure, he did stun my soldiers from every now and then, and summoning some enemies to tank some hits, but still, he was absolutely trashed on. Moving on to intermediate mode, and as you could tell, my placement is getting a little more strategic because, intermediate's a bit of a step up from easy and casual. But of course, intermediate isn't the hardest challenge to come. Oh no, maybe a little bit of soldiers here and there later. The first major threat appeared. No, he wasn't a threat. Okay, but 2 living experiments? That's gotta. No, still not a threat. Alright, come on though, a literal 100,000 health boss? Like, that's gotta be a Nope, I think he tripped on something. That wasn't even the soldiers that time. Oh, thank goodness, Molten! Are you here to finally put an end to the soldier spam? Alright, you know what? Enough joking around. Molten is 1 step away from Fallen, and it actually is a little bit harder, as you could see. I was a bit nervous of what Molten could do to me, and what it could also do to my mental state if I had to keep retrying, so placement was a little bit more strategic, let's just say that. As you could see, early waves were already leaking pretty far, and I barely just started this challenge. The Molten Golem actually put up a decent fight, but it was no match for Golden Soldier spam, of course. Man, the Molten Necromancers, guided by the Molten Golem, actually got pretty far, so I was a bit nervous. The Molten Tank also made it into my defense, but was easily killed. 5 waves away from the final wave, the Molten Executioner made his way onto the path and absolutely destroyed my soldier defense. And he actually made it behind my soldier defense, but some soldiers were able to take him out at the last second. Also, this happened. Yeah, pretty nerve-wracking if I do say so myself. Finally, the Molten Warlord made his appearance on the track on the final wave. My soldiers were ready and prepared, all maxed out. And oh boy, this freaking monster made it to the back of my defense, and my soldiers were hanging on by a thread, but somehow, someway, we killed him. And I know I'm probably overreacting, because it's just Molten, but I could have moved some soldiers there to help out a little bit, but I have too much pride. Anyway, moving on to Fallen. And I just want to tell you that Fallen took many attempts and many losses because I have a skill issue. I am not the best player of the game. I'm telling you, I told you at the beginning too. So I had to put some strategy into spamming my soldiers. Like there really is any strategy. Well, I mean, actually there is. It's replacement. That's basically the thing. And how you upgrade it. But spamming is spamming. Anyways, the fun in games is now over since Fallen is actually serious. It's hard. Like, it's wave 1 and look how far the abnormals have already gotten. Dude, I'm in for a rough time. Over time, I actually ended up garnering a pretty solid defense. It shredded through waves and actually was looking pretty good for me, which I didn't really expect for my first attempt. But then, it came. Fallen Jester has got to be the stupidest enemy there is. It's buffing It's buffing is so dumb. It's literally making them super fast, super tanky, and it's just outright dumb. Like, it's annoying. I mean, sure, I love a good challenge, but just look at it. It's making the... And after finally killing this menace, of course, my boy had to emote on him. The waves progressively got harder, and finally the Fallen Honor Guard came out. And boy, oh boy, this guy was a tough tank. Just look at how far he got. He has so much health still. We finally killed him, but he was inches away from being out of range. Just imagine what Fallen Jester could have done to this guy. It was wave 39, and things were looking pretty good. I had a pretty solid defense, but apparently foreshadowing is a thing in this universe, which I didn't know. And the Fallen Jesters buffed the crap out of all of the Fallen Giants and Fallen Guardians on the track. And you're probably gonna say, oh, just set your soldiers to last enemy so they can hit the Fallen Jester, buffing all of the enemies. Are you really that brain dead? Look, honestly, I don't really care, okay? I lost, and that's that.
Psych, guys, I won the next game. You guys were right.
We are now finished with all of the regular game modes. It is time to move on to the challenge game modes. Oh wow, it's totally not predictable on what's going to happen. We're gonna start from the easiest to hardest, which is Pizza Party. And the hardest is obviously Polluted Wastelands 2. Hope Golden Soldier, if there was any time to lock in, it would be now.
I find it hard to believe because girl, you like Five Nights at Freddy's.
What does that mean?
So yeah, wave 1 was pretty simple. It was just Golden Soldier. If that's not clear how this whole entire video I've been, then you should watch the beginning. After, what else am I gonna do? Place a soldier? The first boss came out. And I'm kinda used to doing Lost Souls, so this was actually quite easy. Because I don't have any other variety of towers to place. Of course, we cooked them off easily. I don't even know if that's like a thing. Some more, I don't know, Golden Soldier gaming later. The second boss came out. It was the Shotgunner. And, he's just cooked like always. On wave 16, some marionettes came out that had 100 defense, which was quite annoying to deal with. However, I spoke too soon and the marionettes literally pushed past my defenses and killed me, sadly. Me personally, I think Pizza Party should be easy to solo with Golden Soldier, but I just have a skill issue, and also I'm not the best player at the game, so, yeah. Badlands! Oh my goodness, Badlands. I was actually kind of surprised by this attempt because I got pretty far. Surprisingly, Golden Soldier actually held its own against the first few waves, especially since Golden Soldier is not much of a crowd controller. And remind you that this is a 3-lane map, so there's a lot of enemies. I tried to be strategic with all of the Golden Soldiers that I was placing down, making sure their range covered at least 2 paths. And for a while, it seemed like I was doing really well, but unfortunately, I forgot that this was a 3-lane map, and we slightly got inundated when the giant skeletons came out. But trust me, we did handle them well though. They just got pretty close to the end. The breakers were especially scary when they came on wave 17, but we hung on by a thread and narrowly defeated all of them. But the giant skeletons wanted their revenge as one of them entered my base the very next wave. Speak of speaking too soon. We barely lasted one more wave than Pizza Party on Badlands. On the bright side, we're on the second to last game mode, so yeah, let's just get this over with. I play Soldier. Soldier attack. And as you could see, Golden Soldier was actually having a tough time defeating the enemies since, they just have 50 health each. Oh my gosh, it's the first wave! It was only wave 3 and we were already leaking. Leaking enemies on wave 3. Is that insane or what? Of course we didn't leak any further though. Foreshadowing. Anyways, we shredded the super mutant, which was actually taking a while to defeat, since I barely got any money these early waves. Of course, I couldn't do anything else than place Golden Soldier, it's not like I have other towers in my inventory. But on wave 13, we were taken out by a splitter, because, dude, they have like 500 health, and once they split in half, they have more health. That doesn't even make sense. Obviously, you saw this loss coming because there's no way I'm soloing Polluted Wastelands with one tower. Now, we're finally on the final game mode, Hardcore. Now, U-turn isn't available as a map, so obviously I'm gonna vote my GOAT, Crossroads, which is the best map in the game. But I felt something sad when I placed my first soldier down. I already knew my fate in this game. Of course, I wouldn't theoretically know how far you could go in a game with just Golden Soldier, besides Hardcore. Because you already know, Golden Soldier does not have lead detection. So obviously, you're definitely cooked. I think we have found the only weakness of Golden Soldier spam, besides crowd control. Lead enemies. So I just left because I don't want to hurt my win ratio even more. So, thank you for going on this journey with me, seeing how far Golden Soldier can go in every game mode. I think if you were to take away one thing from this video, strategy is everything in this game, and one tower being able to easily cheese the mainstream game modes is not gonna cut it. So sometimes you just... I guess what I'm trying to say is, enjoy your life. I don't even know how this remotely connects to what I was talking about before, but I don't know, like and subscribe or something, I don't really care.